Hello, in this lesson we are going to work with the database, which we created in the previous lesson from the PHP code. By default, PHP is usually tuned to work with MySQL database server, but let's check it out. Let's go to the OS panel menu and open Additional Configuration PHP ini. Here find the section with extensions and row with MySQL I extension. It must be uncommented. If it's not, we'll have errors while connecting to the MySQL server. In our PHP ini everything is okay, so let's begin making some PHP code. First of all, let's make config class, where we will place data about server name, database user and password. In other words, all the information we need to connect to the database server. Then we need to create MySQL DB class. It will have 4 methods. First two are connect and disconnect, to open and close connection with MySQL server. Second two are run a query and get array from query, to simply execute some SQL code, for example insert or update statement, and to return select statement result in the form of an array. Connect method creates a new instance of MySQL I class using data that we stored in config class. Then we check if everything goes right and run the first SQL query to set code page for character data. For this we use our run SQL method. This method simply calls the query method from MySQL I class. And then checks if there are some errors. If so, we write the error to the public error field of our MySQL DB class. GetArray from query method will run past select statement with the help of previously created run SQL method. And then using while loop, we'll place the results into the array. Disconnect method will close the connection and clear private link property in the MySQL DB class instance. The next step is to create the DB data class. This class will work with our database tables and read the data we need. It has a private field DB, which is the instance of MySQL DB class. In the constructor, we fill DB with a new instance of MySQL DB class and call its connect method to open connection. Then we have 2 methods to read data, one for each of the database tables, general and additional data. They are very similar and consists of following steps. First we read the data from the table using getArray from query method of MySQL DB class. Then, using for each loop, we add each row to the returned array using one field as key and another as value. So now we have finished preparation work with making classes, and we are ready to start modifying our page code. Let's start from getData.php. Here we simply create a new instance of DB class, and with the help of getGeneralData and getAdditionalItems methods, read data from the database and store it in the data variable. The final thing we need to do is to change index.php file quite a little. In the section of additional data displaying, we use the additional title and additional items keys of the data array. That's it. Let's check what we have now. As we can see, nothing changed on the page, but now all the page data are stored in the database and we are read from it. We can check it, simply change some data in the database. Let's run phpMyAdmin. Open General Table. And change the title of the page. Then refresh the page in our browser and see the result. See you in the next lesson, where I will separate front and backend parts of our web application.